Happy Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is the main event in Halloween week. And since today is Halloween, I decided to review the most scariest, most terrifying, most spine-tingling movie ever made. And yes, I picked one and I recently watched it today leading up to this movie review. That movie is The Exorcist, which is, by a lot of critics, one of the most iconic horror films of all time. Now, my dad always told me to never watch The Exorcist when I was a kid. I do watch movies like The Conjuring, Child's Play, even Nightmare on Elm Street, but he said to never ever watch The Exorcist because The Exorcist, he said, it's one of the scariest movies ever. Even he got scared. And most horror movies, he never got scared. And he said The Exorcist does terrify him. So, yeah, I think now it's the right time to review The Exorcist. I watched it for the first time when I was 15 years old. I was in the right age to watch the movie. Well, technically it's R-rated, but I watched so many horror films, I think it's the right time to watch The Exorcist. And yes, it was terrifying. And then I had to watch this movie again, leading to this Halloween, because I think, you know what, if it's Halloween, I had to review something scary. And yes, it's still terrifying. This movie came out in 1973, and it still scared me till this day. Because I reckon what's really different about this movie is that it's like the biggest popularity of different horror films. It's the big popularity now of possession movies. This is the movie that kind of started this most iconic thing out of them all. This movie is really different to any other horror movies I have seen. Yep, I've seen a lot of possession movies and crosses come up, but this movie felt kind of real to me. It felt like it's not fake. It felt like it's actual real life footage of the actual exorcism happened. That's how this movie felt very real to me. And speaking of that, this movie was actually based on terrifying events. This actually happened, which makes this movie a lot more scary. This movie is very spine-tingling. I will give this credit. It's a spine-tingling film. This film has so many freaking creepy ass scenes. This is actually a film that doesn't have jump scares. It's more of the scenery, it's more of the vibe, and it's more of the tone. This movie is a very dark movie. This movie is not messing around. This movie could actually give you nightmares. And I gotta be honest, I'm worried I'm gonna get nightmares after I watch this movie. But I did watch this movie on the exact right time, because Halloween is a very spooky night. It's a big celebration of getting candy, but of course, it's a pretty scary night. So, of course, The Exorcist is the right movie to review, and I think this movie, I was actually excited to review this movie, because I'm actually now terrified to review this movie, because it is a freaking terrifying movie. And don't even say like, oh my god, you're just a whinger, man. Dude, watch this movie if you haven't seen it, and you'll probably be like, you know what? I'm right. I think the thing that impresses me with The Exorcist is the scares. The scares in this movie are really, really clever. There's actually a lot of scares that just came out of nowhere. Such as this scene where the daughter climbs down the stairs backwards out of a nowhere moment. It's just like, it's not with the subject. It's not like hearing noises. It's just like conversation, and you just see her coming down the stairs. And that made me spine tingling the most. And then we get the most iconic freaking jump scare ever, is when the daughter twists her head. One of the most iconic scares of all time, and I think it still does scare me till this day. And I think that scene, my god, still terrifies me.
You know what she did? Your canting daughter?
Like, I just love that voice. I love that voice. It's just so freaking terrifying, but also kind of awesome at the exact same time. I think another great positive with this film is that this is a character-driven movie. It's not just the daughter we care about for the film to get all their exorcism out. Also, the priest in the film, Damien Corrales, played by Jason Miller. I thought he's one of the most iconic horror movie characters ever, and one of the most unappreciated, because this character has heart. This character has a very, very dark moment in the film, and you kind of do root for him as well, otherwise the daughter as well, But what I like about this movie is that it doesn't just focus on the possession. It focuses on characters. It focuses on her mom, how worried she is about her daughter. All the doctors telling her that she needs to go to the hospital, and she doesn't want her to leave because this is dangerous, and she knows it. And the priest in the film is the only guy that does believe in her. He believes in why the exorcism is really big case that he's doing. And I think he was great. I think he's my favorite character in this entire movie. I really enjoy his past. His past is very heartbroken. And also, this movie does have a really great theme. I love that theme so much. I hear that theme quite often sometimes when it's just a Halloween day. It is a really underrated theme, and I really like that. The colors, the tone, it is very dark, and this film does work as a dark film because it's a real-life events film. It does happen, real-life events. Possession could be real, and it makes this movie way more creepier than it is, and that makes me really like this movie more because this movie is very disturbing. It's very spine-tingling, but I really like that. I really like getting scared in this movie. This movie, I think it's the scariest movie of all time, and I think I reviewed this movie at the right time on Halloween. The characters were great in the film. The daughter did a fantastic job. I don't know her actress's name, and I've only seen her in this movie. I need to see her in more movies because she is a great actress by the time I saw this movie. But this movie is terrifying. This is one of the best exorcism films that I have ever seen in my life. And I think The Exorcist is one of my favorite horror films with The Evil Dead so far from now. And I'm going to give The Exorcist an A+. So guys, let me know down below if you have seen The Exorcist. Do you like the movie? Do you hate the movie? Do you think it's really terrifying? Or do you think it's not as terrifying as you think? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure guys, you subscribe to my channel. And yes, Halloween week isn't over. Just because today's Halloween doesn't mean Halloween week is over. There's still more horror movie reviews that I'm going to be doing. So guys, have a nice day.